get to hear from some of the great members of this community. I mean, 17 is probably one of the best people to ever have in an interview. The man, he gives the right answers, to say the least. He's always very, very astute with his opinions and his takes away from the game. Liquid, very fortunate to have a coach like that. We are seeing the island being involved, so we could keep our eyes on that, just in case anyone gets a bit too close for comfort. But again, I'm still seeing the likes of Hypoc in chat, Toffee's in chat. Everyone turns out for these games, so it's great to see the community enjoying PUBG, as I feel like we are in a wonderful era of what we're seeing come out from some of these teams. A bit of a change of the guard here and there, a little bit of a stylistic adjustment. But no matter what, the quality of the games is outstanding.
And what's even more for that is that we don't have all the information yet, so I'm not going to start going as if I do, but we know now that PGIS is around the corner for next year. We're starting to see all the information trickle out, which is a good sign that PUBG Sports is still going to be here. It's still going to be loud next year. There's still going to be a lot going on. I'm excited. I'm sure everyone else is going to be excited to get more information and see what happens from that. I am excited to see if ETG won't have a crack at Liquid early game, because I'm seeing Forever standing by and watching over Pachinki. Yes, I know it's a bit of a straight up the middle. It's a bit of a shot to be going to usual home positions. You touched on it, Lauren, that with the playing path being straight over the middle of it, that we could be seeing that circle, and it's slap bang in the middle. There is opportunity here now for teams to actually go and bridge camp. Look at Northern Lights in Novo. Look at Faze Clan on the opposing bridge. If these teams want to start farming points, if they want to farm frags and knock out potential opponents, now's the time to do it. Liquid, we know, is predominantly a team that likes to come early. But for someone like Na'Vi, do they now reposition? Do they now adjust and set up the bridge encampment? For many years, they've let them go by. It's fair game. They don't like to get aggro. They don't like to get aggressive. But now they're looking to knock out teams. Now they're looking to knock out competitors above them, and more importantly, pick up frags. This is a good potential for teams to be able to get on that bridge, set up the trap, and get the frags done.
Okay, Tornado Energy. I've got to say it. They're a great team when they're on, but today hasn't been a huge one for them. We saw that first, I think it was the first Miramar game, being decent. It was okay. They got towards the end of it, but it wasn't their finest performance. I don't think that was a classic Tornado Energy performance by their standard. But as I said, it wasn't bad at all. But we've seen some stars shining quite brightly today, I think, is the main thing. And we've had Northern Lights having big games, DA, Liquid, all the teams that are surrounding Tornado Energy. So they could do with a win. They could do with a couple more pushes towards the top. And that's no discredit to them. It's very hard to keep up when we have some of the best teams in this lobby really going off here. So I am looking at FaZe. They are seeming to congregate around FuzzFace, so I am curious if that's going to be a bridge camp eventually. My. It seems as though Spider-Man is with us. And FuzzFace looks quite content up here. He's in a decent enough spot. Oh boy, are we getting a FaZe Clan bridge camp?
There's potential. There is potential.
They
may not necessarily be in the running for winning this whole thing, but the more placements you jump up this leaderboard, the more money that you're going to be taking home at the end of the day. They could, but this is what I honestly thought that Na'Vi may do it, just because of the position that they're in now. Na'Vi may do this, but it damn well could very much be FaZe Clan. Like,
because normally Liquid gets past Na'Vi.
We've got to go on
with
Liquid.
Right?
We've got to watch this.
Go on board with it, right? So Orange is going to pop shots, but this is kind of, if you're Liquid and you do this often, when this is your route, you know this happens. You're like, okay, Na'Vi is still in place. That kind of gives away they're still in place. But who is not in place is goddamn FaZe Clan. Look at this. Are you kidding me? They are on the bridge. Grenade's getting ready. FuzzFace could be bringing death from above. This is going to be unbelievable. If he does this, if he times it right. Here we go. They're not going to check this. Oh, it's a bit weird. It's a bit weird, but it's what? Oh almighty, this is a massacre, Rich. FaZe have just destroyed Liquid. Ibby's run over Gustav, but it's only Ibby. And Ibby's being sprayed on. One more shot would probably do the job. Uber, if he had just a little bit more ammo to work with, he could have maybe landed something. But Liquid are probably scratching their heads, baffled at what just happened.
They were blown out the cars with nades. FaZe Clan just set the standard for what we have to expect for the rest of this week.
TSM are on the way soon. They're coming past the crossroads. They'll be coming towards the bridge. Maybe 30 seconds. Oh Oh my god, it was
So
80's
the
nade that
80
did it,
got him.
but...
Yeah.
uh,
I mean, it's done enough
okay, so
damage, right?
TSM are about to come past Na'Vi, right? So let's keep eyes on this. Do Faze stick around? Or do they now, with the additional loot, go, right, that'll do. That's enough for us. Move on. It looks like that's the case. I don't know. Let's keep... If we could watch Faze here. Yes, this is a bridge camp on the other side. Ish. But it's just two teams crossing at the same time. So Orange sees this. Now, he saw Liquid
Faze is
pass
leaving.
earlier. Now, that's the important info I wanted. Because Na'Vi can put together the pieces. They just saw Faze kill Liquid. So they're like, right, well, we know what's happening here. We might know what's happening on the other bridge. These teams are absolutely bloodthirsty. Iroh's the last one across, and he might die for this. Orange, if these shots landed, no, Iroh is lucky to make it through.
Do scrape through, which is good. For Red Line, I think Pony have already opened up shots into them, so maybe they want revenge, maybe they want to challenge this. Potentially realizing that someone's on radio as well could be the go sign to actually not engage in this one. Stay your feet and just avoid it at all cost. Shift W is looking to see if anyone else wants a crack at the whip. If they've spotted the information in the distance, which they could have done, they're repositioning. Do they know that Omakun's on way? Has someone seen this up in the... If they have a scope, look at Kilyakai. Here's a Mosin. If we've got a scope on that and he can see up towards the forest, then he will know Vasco also may have done the same. Pre-scouting this bridge. It's very important now that Shift W do not get spotted. If they want to continue... Oh my god, we've still got 3 people yet to make. DA might just 10-head this and grab boats and heal through the blue. Like, there is that small opportunity that they do it. If not, they wait until everyone else has buggered off and then turn up late game. Na'Vi are the next ones to hit the bridge. On the opposing side, no one's there. They could set up Omakun. Omakun have committed on the opposing side. We have to take a look at this. We've seen one player pull up, which is probably going to be Page again as he tries to get some information on Shift W. If they all just took the heads in, they will not know.
I don't know if they've seen enough. I don't know if there's vehicles or any giveaways that Shift W around here. I don't see any shots yet either. So this is on the other side. This is on the eastern bridge. Omakun are kind of on the more Milta side of it. Kind of on that farm area. I've just seen a shot come out. So Shift W might have just given away their position here. Now, I don't know how much has been noted. Okay, here it is. So this is going to be the shots coming through. Now, Omakun are being cautious. And keep in mind, the circle will allow this play for a little while. They can probably heal through this. DA start their journey. They're far off. But Ents and WS about to clash on the bridge themselves. Who gets who first? Rustamon's going to lead the way quickly on the bike. Actually, pings off towards the lighthouse. So it looks like he wants to be able to get a couple of shots in if they do decide to cross. His timing, not going to let any happen, really. So it looks like WS going to take that opportunity. Probably the better choice here to rather than stand and fight. The Wanderer, if the map's not deceiving me, could be in trouble if he tries to cross. But for now, the vast majority of WS will make it through. At least to this point.
And to be able to hear these shots. Tags will come through onto Kemba. Some tyres may just be damaged. At least they've got 3 vehicles. They'll be able to traverse this quite easily. Faze Clan still in the wind down low. Cannon here and the opposing side on Aimlul. If you hit one of those players at the back of the vehicle, like, I will be just mind blown. Tags him. It was close. There was a chance. I'm okay with that. Gets the body and now worms his way into Northern Lights. So if the information comes through from Spyro, at Northern Lights, you have a team below you that could be rapping on the hillside towards radio. That could be critical and vital information. That could be points in the bag if they work their way uphill. TSM has opened up onto Na'Vi. We can see the tracer fire coming through. Remember, TSM's position will give them an elevated line of sight into Na'Vi. They'll control the yellows on the roadside cross. WS on the opposing side will also be in line of this one, so maybe they shoot into Na'Vi and still held back by all of this action that's unfolding in front of them. Not really made any impact or entrance, but we can see the Na'Vi players, look at that, they turn instantly and look towards the opposing side. So do they know someone's on that bridge? Do they know there's yet a team to make a stance against them? This is just chaotic. The Western Bridge has been murder. And DA have still, Lauren, yet to make it out of the blue.
Oh. I mean, with the circle still having some of the cliffs in, they can just kind of roll up to that and send it across. Now, that does leave their fate in the hands of the opponents, of like Tornado Energy, maybe Na'Vi, even Ents. But it does keep them alive for potentially another go of things. Mertz made it through, but the circle will be moving in, what, 25 seconds? So it's not long now. Beyond that, Omakun still on the Eastern Bridge. Ents are in on the Western Bridge, but it's a pretty precarious spot to be in. It's not ideal by any means. Beyond that, TSM good positioning. Faze, of course, a good handful of kills to start with, 3, I believe. As one of the Liquid players did get away, Ibby being that player, still alive and probably keeping his head down. Ents have decided to cross. Now, Na'Vi aren't far away, but they're not really in a firing position. But Omicron are going to come across some opponents. Shift WR down below. So again, these teams are very close to each other, but not necessarily easy kills to be had.
Omicron will actually get away from that one, which is kind of impressive and comes off the back of Shift W just trying to stay out line of sight from Pink Pony in the compounds just below them. Vasco, first one to fall on the side of Omicron. They've worked their way through the grassy woodland, but unfortunately found a mess of strewn players. Page is out of the vehicle and hoping no one cops for him because there's still 2 teams in distance here, so he has to be very, very hyper careful and hyper aware of what's going on. Jempty can regroup with the rest of them. T-Bone might be able to sit Overwatch into this, but he probably won't realize Redline is here. Lining up the M4 with the 3 times. Opens up and sprays down. Damage is done, and quite a lot of it. No knock initially, but still. This could also be more information being fed back to Pink Pony they can capitalize upon. Very, very weak on the side of T-Bone. Thankfully, the nade does bounce. The second smoke, or third smoke, should I say, will go up. Builds him the wall. They can look forward and see what happens with Pink Pony. Maybe they take the position, or maybe they just get in the vehicles and get the hell out of there. They are stuck directly between 2 teams. This is dire straits for Omicron. They've had trouble getting across this bridge. They're held back because of Shift W, and thankfully, Ibis didn't reload. That allows T-Bone to get away with his life and maybe just regroup with the rest of the roster.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how... I mean, Omicron, credit to them for making it here. Like, they just thread it through a lot of teams. Now, DA have just reached the cliffs. Mert, Metralius, Smash, and Code Marco have made it over, but the dangerous part is still to come. Now, I don't know how many meds they've been able to garner through their time in Georgia Pol, but there better be a few. If they decide to swim this, Ents maybe sees it, Tornado Energy maybe sees it, Redline, Na'Vi, all in positions to potentially fight it. Now, it's about timing on this. Now wait to see how it unfolds. The circle going to move. Let's see how harsh this is for DA. It's not the worst in the world. They could stay on the vehicles, go around to the bridge and play the bridge itself. This is discussion time for them. But for someone like Faze, exemplary positioning, and they will be incredibly happy with how this circle has kind of worked out. They can then kind of pull themselves into a more ideal scenario, make sure they're in the right compounds they want to be in to kind of create the stand. If he's on the move, trying to maybe find a little safe position to hunker down into himself, try and keep his head down low here. But everyone going to magnetize towards that western side now.
If he's on the move, the reason we keep kind of focusing to see if he does stay alive is that he is the last player of Liquid. They are trying to win this whole thing, and to lose 3 players simultaneously straight off the bat on their first rotation is pretty damn harsh. Northern Lights open up onto Pink Pony, moving straight into Sosnovka Millie itself. Shift W red line, kind of a little bit of a standoff towards the northeast side of Sosnovka Island itself. DA have stayed stationary. Time's ticking away, boys. You need to make a choice now. I know it's a rough transition, but still. With the circle actually hard shifting towards the west, that bridge could have been an opportunity, but now the blue's here. They've missed the chance to get it clean. Remember, they were playing the blue initially, so I'm questioning how many meds they actually have. What's been committed. Yes, I know it doesn't hurt all that much at the start. I understand that, but still. It looks like, from at least my side where I can see, DA will be committing to take that bridge. If not, then they're going to go for just a wacky play and maybe get boats from Ferry Pier and attempt to readjust, but where you readjust at this point in the game is completely beyond me. All the beaches are out. If you hit the beaches on the front, you've got WS are going to hit you from the yellows. You'll understand that. So I can only imagine they go for a last-ditch attempt and maybe, just maybe, put the hand in the magician's hat and pull out some kind of DA tactic. That is a phenomenal shot from Nail-Up onto Chris. Bangs him dead to rights with the SLR at distance. And here we go, DA. Top of the charts at the moment, but for how long? Will this spell death and disaster as another 16th place? Or will we get across this one cleanly?
It's a big question, isn't it? Technically, Na'Vi could see this. Orange might hear a vehicle or be curious. WS could see this too, and here we go. Orange should be able to ring the alarm bells, say, hey, someone's crossing over right now. DA is going to go up towards the hillside, though, where Windstreak currently reside. Kemba's up there, and I think Kemba had support. I think the Wanderer was with him. So if they pull up and fight here, they will be at a disadvantage. They've continued forward, and this opens up to Faze, though.
They're going deep on this one. Like,
DA
so
full
many
send.
teams, and they should know it. I mean, the last place they would go is the Sauna Boys. And they've gone to it. They've actually gone to the garage compound. Marco's made it to the door now, thankfully. It's only anonymous in the garage, but there is Misa on the opposing side, so they've lost 2. They've lost, is that 3 now simultaneously?
Yeah.
It is. It comes down to Smash. What have you got? Absolutely nothing. DA. Dire Straits. 2 out of 3 games. That's a 16th place position. Holding on by 11 points at the top. Once again, it opens it up for Northern Lights. It opens it up. I would say Liquid, but with Ibby alive, as a solo player, I don't know. This is a good opportunity for Northern Lights to jump them once again.
Yeah, and let's check in with where Northern Lights currently hold. They're in the south, though Tornado Energy taking a bit of a battering here on the receiving end, but Quizzy going to keep things favorable for a moment, but it's traded out. 2 for 2 here. No, excuse me, 3 for 2. But Example trying to find the remaining members if he can. It doesn't seem like he's able to locate them now. We are seeing Ents on the swing up in the north. That's towards Shift W, so they're going to win that quite comfortably, it seems, as WS make their way across. Tornado Energy, as I said, haven't been the highlights for me today, as I'd like them to have been. And TSM, yeah, noticing this, have the circle favourable to them, feel comfortable enough to lean out a little and get some shots through.
TSM, who want to try and third-party this one and throw themselves into it. And again, playing for cash at this moment in time. They are down in 9th position, so it's not the best in the world. Especially when someone has actually collected one of these trophies in themselves. Pink Ponies do eliminate Redline. 15th position will be them. Do TSM want to continue the fight? Of course they do. If there's opportunity to take out Tornado Energy, why would you not? Shift W continues the punishment onto Ents. They lose more players. The smoke wall is committed. Examples full health. Memon will be there shortly. Alia down but not out. With the instant resuscitation, it does come through. They're getting back on his feet, and he will get the first aid off. TSM decide, you know what, let's halt back. Let's get a safety spot, because eventually Tornado Energy, they have to come to us. If we set up in a great position, we might set ourselves up for success, because once this circle updates, everyone else should be coming their way, and it's a nice 2-2 split coming out of TSM. The question is, have they read it? Do they understand that there's 2 teams here? I would assume so, and I would assume that's why they've taken the 2-2. Either that, or it's just to give them more ground coverage.
We're speaking about Northern Lights. They were in the south. They're on the runway. They've made it in towards the kind of garages that lead into that military compound. They should be somewhat, I don't want to say safe, it's not the safest of positions, but their southern side should be somewhat covered, as ETG can't really get line of sight on that. And Ibby, are you okay, Ibby? Oh, little sweet Ibby. Just Velociraptor running around the fields. Just a sign of a nice time. Actually just probably maybe trying to get to a slightly better position if he can maybe just sit behind a tree, just kind of keep his head down as best he can. Leave the other teams to fight. Spyro might see him though, I'm not too sure, maybe even Beamy, but could be anyone at this point. Sauna Boys still holding on, the death of DA on their hands. And now we look across the field, and as I said, a lot of strong teams here, but the center isn't always the kind of most fought for point on this. The topography kind of defines how teams play this out.
I'll tell you what, he's confident is the guy. There's absolutely nothing in terms of real hard cover in his position that he's in. And it is rather exposed. Everyone is going for the hillside to take the container units up there and realizes that Elmakin is in that position. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's an individual. He can shoot, can the guy? It's a good job he did move, because now the circle has been kind of more favorable to him in the fact that it's gone his way, not left him out to the cold. But again, he's done that work to get into that spot. There's going to be eventually that area in the middle, actually, funnily enough, where there's a crate. Which, if you do want to go for hard cover, if you were a solo snake and go lay down, it'd be a good place to do it. But again, it's going to be a point of contact for everyone throwing grenades at. Omakan eventually will have to come out of there, and maybe that's why he'd be stood still. He's going to wait for them to remove themselves from that position and then tackle it head on. Faze Clan, yeah, they've got a compound left in. Navi, nothing. WS is setting up shop on the hillside, ready to receive them once they cross the road. Shift W will chill in towards the north. Tornado Energy, again, same kind of scenario where eventually they will have to come in, then they'll meet 2 players from TSM. Again, TSM is still in this 2-2 split where they're trying to control 2 different rosters. The question is, do Tornado Energy maybe try and reposition, end up working their way into one? Nade is solid. Oh my word.
Well, Na'Vi, welcome to the party, pal. We said that this cross was going to be horrific for them. It was going to be so tricky. And, well, it was. And maybe even made simpler by that nade and its effectiveness as the Tab and Senya divided by the road, and that may as well be an absolute lifetime away. I'm seeing Northern Lights in a bit of a fight, so I want to keep my mind towards that as they're sending across the road. They're in the position now to jump the A, so that's why I want to keep that in mind. Positioning is everything here. Nice work from Myro. Good kills from TSM. However, yes, it's Northern Lights, it's ETG, it's Omicron. This is going to be a huge fight, Rich.
It is. We'll see which one kind of comes out on top. With example going down from Shift W. I also want to just make you all aware that Faze Clan is moving on the the WS and Na'Vi fight, so we could have just massacre across two different sides of it. Quick spin around from Lou. Spyro also onto Page. ETG going down and losing Fenderlof. Spyro now needs to focus his way to behind them. With them going down, that's a point of contact removed. Now they need to look onwards. Omicron has been strewn across the battlefield. The Sauna Boys are still alive and kicking. Liquid does go down. Ibby lost his life. Na'Vi have to try and take off Ostring in the smoke. He is laid down. Can he find them? Who's first? Thank you very much. There's one. You got to find this second one, Tab. He gets it. Cleans him up, but the wipe was there. Faze Clan did turn up to this. They've been wandering this way for quite some time. They can wipe out these two squadrons. They are in a heavily advantageous position, not only with manpower, but more importantly with line of sight above.
Northern Lights, they still have to deal with the Sauna Boys. We said it, and Batulins is dealing with them just fine. They're pushing this. Misa's going to take down Perfectix, but a quick trade out comes in. Is there a res available? Perfectix going to crawl his way forward. There might just be a moment where he can get into that new circle. We have to wait and see. Looks like he's going to make it. Northern Lights are going to keep 4 alive. Omicron don't quite have the territory right now to push back into it. They're more worried about their next problem, which could be Faze of all teams, who've kept 4 standing, who cleaned up in the north, and now they see Gemty flying at them. You can see Fuzzface, Gustav laying down suppressing fire. T-Bone's now joined in, but they're at the foot of the hill. This should be shooting fish in the barrel for Faze. And this is the Faze I love to see, a proactive Faze, an aggressive Faze, and a Faze that might camp a bridge or two. 5 kills, predominantly garnered from that bridge camp at the start, and the car gets removed, the cover gets taken away, and Gemty goes down for it.
T-Bone on the opposing side. All the lights have got him dead to right. Shows his face, and he's already tagged up. The helmet goes flying off the back, and that should be an easy GG. Omicron goes down 7 position. 8 kills in total for the Northern Lights. We spoke about them trying to solidify that top spot and maybe jump DA, capitalize on the situation of a second 16th place. Well, it could well be happening. They've got a bit of a run to do now, and unfortunately, it will come off the back of Faze Clan being in place. But Tulins, the 1-2, thank you. Saving them to get into this spot. They've avoided Faze Clan for now. But remember, Faze is on top of this hill. If they have any nades, this will spell disaster for NLT.
They've made it so far? Question mark? I'm a little nervous, and it looks like so are they. They've got to have a good understanding that Faze was close-ish by. Bystanders going to try and disengage from that TSM battle. But Northern Lights are going to kind of become the center of everyone's attention. TSM's going to see him for sure, but maybe Faze gets more attention towards Shift W. No, it's going to be Braxico. Yes, this is the fight I thought may happen because of it, but again, the nade towards Beamy, probably not going to reach, should be fine. And as close as they may seem, TSM has line of sight towards Shift W, towards Bystanders. Uber flexing out a little. I like this from Uber, but it's dangerous and it's bold. And already Batulin's continuing as he intended. The Blue's going to move short forward soon enough, checks the vehicle, spots the Wookiee, takes him down. Not going to stick around to flush. He knows he's done his job. Spots Batulins. Now that is big information, Rich.
Still answering back with taking down Fex, though. That's the more better thing. Post first, at least be able to get back on its feet, I would assume. I think they're on 10. I think I just saw 10 pop up. Oh. If not, that would have been Faze. And excuse me if I am completely wrong. I don't think it was. But again, they're doing it. They're holding the foot of that hillside. And honestly, with Bystanders turning up in a rather unorthodox position for Faze Clan, it's drawn their attention away. And it's kind of broken the roster in two. TSM, I think, have just snuck that crate from beneath the Northern Lights' nose. Maybe they realize that the double drop is actually hanging around. Now they most certainly will. Vard will try and stand the test as time. As a solo for TSM, he does fall. 4 teams remain. Faze Clan versus Northern Lights with 4 apiece. Shift W with 2. This could be spicy.
Yeah, it could, but the territory is favorable towards Faze still. They have the high ground, and Lou's gonna suffer for it. He's dead, he's gone, he's flushed. But Tulins has been pretty much a hard carry in this, keep in mind. He's the one getting the big handful of kills. Now, luckily for Faze, they can flex a little towards the low ground, take the fight on Northern Lights, and be kept safe from the likes of Shift W, who will also maybe put their attention towards Northern Lights. So the bigger question mark here is, Rich, can Northern Lights deal with two of these potential fights happening at the same time? I don't think they can, but maybe, just maybe, they can make something happen with this.
Spyro's a little bit deeper again. It's Shift W that'll holding back though. Second molly finds Batulins. And again, the smoke, it may occlude you for some time, but it only gives away your position the further you go down the game. He's also about to approach the 10 kill mark. Soccer now with a different angle onto Spyro. 11 kills. That's not bad, and that's one of the reason that they're actually jumping above DA. Still, if they can take down Shift W, it's more positional points. Perfectix goes for the automatic spray with the Mark 14. Doesn't find the target just yet. Nay goes down, player runs low. If he tries to wait a minute, Kill Your Kai. You found Faze Clan unaware. This is deadly. This could spell disaster for Faze. If all of a sudden Northern Lights just want to regroup themselves and tackle them while this fight's going on, this would be the perfect time to strike and get out of the danger zone down low.
It would be, but it's an open field to run. It looks like Gustav's already considering, like, wait, how much trouble are we in? Okay, quite a bit. We've got Spyro watching us. We have Perfectix keeping Zoka busy. So this kind of shifts. Northern Lights now get put into the position where maybe they could play for that second place. Play in and hope that Shift W, Kill Your Kai, and Faze fight first, and maybe that's going to happen. Already Ubo, Gustav, they're on the flush around. They want to try and secure this side of it. Zoka's on the back lines, though, not sure what he sees, but a flash keeps vision hindered. Faze shifting away again.
Circle updates, and Faze has to do all the work. They have to walk an exposed field with clear field of view for both Shift W and Northern Lights, but which path do you take? I suppose you only have to go one way at this point. Rather than, you won't go through the middle because you're just going to get bodied by both teams, but you do outman them and outgun them. The issue is that you have to go to them. You have to do all the work to get through to them. One headshot would do nicely. Sit them back down, make them pause for a second. But Perfectix, we'd have to assume he's 3'd up. The Mark 14 in hand, he's been scavenging and ravaging the crates. That'll give him a good amount of survivability. We move to the other side on Shift W. Well, pick your poison phase. This is not going to be easy.
Okay, smokes to the left. Don't have too many to work with, but enough. A flash. That's aimed towards Kill Your Kai. Maybe a molly, nades, whatever they can to try and deny and control a little bit of space, but showing just through that smoke is enough to get you 50 of your HP. Instantly taken away. The blue's moving in. Wait, Uber's found him. Kill Your Kai's gone down. Zoka's sweating bullets, and Northern Lights are opening up that second place opportunity. Zoka now knows he's in danger. Team behind him, team now pushing him. Faze move up. Nicely done by Faze. Good commitment of the smoke to isolate the player. That's paid off and then some. This keeps them in. They're playing very, very smart, reserved PUBG right now. Spyro watching for Zoka. Did he hear a step? He might have done. He might have heard enough. Zoka certainly has, and yeah, Spyro well aware of what could be unfolding in front of him. Already the nades, the mollies, the flashes. Uber gets the flush. Can Zoka take Spyro with him? That's a big question here for me, Rich.
Suppose if you are Perfectix, you'd assume to go for the flush. If you know Northern Lights, you want as many points as possible at this point, so trying to transition the spray into other players is going to be extremely difficult. Never know, we've seen Code Marco do some wonderful stuff in the previous game, so anything can happen at this point. Faze have done tremendous, even to make it down this hill, to be fair. That one-player isolation has given them a good amount of breathing room. Zoka could be the first... Actually, Zoka could draw... Oh, Northern Lights' attention. Faze could very much capitalize on this if they go toe-to-toe against one another. Gustav should be the first point of contact.
Yeah, Zoka's gonna be forced in between them, though. There's no way he avoids both teams, even with this smoke wall. Unless he sits in the smoke itself, which obviously can only keep him safe for so long. Faze will crest soon. And Perfectic's waiting for that moment. He's waiting for them to show over that hillside. That's why the topography is very important. Spyro also might get vision. He does. Fuzzface has to back away. Is he staying alive? Yes. But now there's danger aplenty. We're down to the 3v2 here. And the ground's favorable towards the Northern Lights. Perfectix just got Uber. They're holding this with M4s. They're keeping them just at arm's length. Gustav and Fuzzface now. Gustav just eats the own flash. Oh, this is looking a little bit fumbly from Faze, and that's not something you often get to say. Perfectix with another. This is looking like Northern Lights have done enough. Fuzzface desperate for this. They're so low. He could maybe still do damage, but he has to be clean. He has to be just so much better. Checking the edges of the smokes, looking for any chance, any pixel out of place. Closing in now. He's still desperate for someone to show. Spot Spyro gets him, and now a 1v1. It's prone, but he gets tagged. Perfectix hasn't finished him off, though. 13 bullets and 35 HP. Fuzzface is going to have the blue on his back any second, and it doesn't matter. Fuzzface, the absolute Viking king, does it for Faze. 13 kills, first place, and a bridge camp just to wrap it all up.
That's